Hey everybody, welcome back for part 2 of my K-pop healing story. After I took my daughter to see Stray Kids, something inside me shifted. Not in a dramatic movie scene type of way. There were no fireworks. Okay, actually there were fireworks. But there was no sudden life makeover. There was no, and from that day forward, everything was perfect. But the heaviness that I was carrying didn't feel quite as suffocating anymore. It was like somebody cracked open a window in a dark room. And once there's a little light, you start looking for more. I started listening to their music more intentionally. Not just in the car, not just as background noise, but actually listening. And that's when I realized something important. These weren't just catchy songs. They were talking about pressure, identity, feeling like you're not good enough and fighting your own thoughts. A lot of lyrics felt like they were pulled out of a therapy session. And for someone who's spent years trying to rebuild herself after abuse, that hit differently. It felt honest, raw. It felt familiar. As I started watching more content, more interviews, more performances, the K-pop world started opening up. And then I found BTS. At first it was curiosity. Everyone knows BTS. They're everywhere. And honestly, that's the first group that my daughter tried to introduce me to. But apparently I just wasn't ready yet. You can't be in K-pop spaces for 5 minutes without hearing their name. So I started with a few songs, then a few more, then some interviews, then some performances, and then I found him. August D, also known as Suga or Min Yoongi. That's when the music stopped being just music for me. It became a mirror. His songs weren't polished versions of pain. They weren't the kind of lyrics that say, everything is hard, but it's all gonna be okay, smile through it. No, he talked about the ugly parts. Depression, anxiety, anger, fear, the pressure to be perfect, the exhaustion of carrying expectations. There was a level of honesty in his music that I had never heard before. Not in pop. Not really in any of the things I grew up listening to. It was like someone had taken the thoughts that I had been too afraid to say out loud and turned them into songs. Instead of feeling more broken, I felt understood. Like, oh, someone else gets it. I'm not crazy for feeling this way. You can survive this and still create something meaningful. There were times after the gym I'd just sit in my car and let his songs play. Not because they made me sad, but because they made me feel seen. And when you come out of abuse, you've spent years being told that your feelings don't matter. So being seen is powerful. It's healing. Around that same time, the K-pop world kept expanding. ATEEZ came into my playlist with intensity and passion. And Hypen followed with their stories of identity and growth. And then there's Jackson Wang, whose music felt like late night thoughts turned into sound. Each artist added something different emotions, different messages, different reminders that pain doesn't have to define you. Looking back, it wasn't just discovering new music. It was discovering new parts of myself. The part of me that laughs at chaotic variety shows. The part that gets excited for comebacks. The part that feels something when lyrics hit a little too close to home. For a long time, trauma made my world feel small, quiet, and heavy. But through this music, it started expanding again. And I realized something important. Therapy helped me survive. But this music, it's helped me reconnect with life. Stay tuned for part 3.